I am Alessandro, founder of Yogateria, and today we start our new podcast and interviews with the Yogi, and today is also Women's Day. I'm here with Rajshree Patel, that is an inspirational speaker, advanced teacher of meditation. She traveled all over the world more than over the last 40 years, everywhere inspiring people. And of course, she's a great yogi, and I'm really honored to have a nice chat with her. Hi, Rajshree.
Hi, Alessandro. How are you?
Great. You were in my mind as first person today. As I want to interview who is the first person I want to interview. It was you. Today also is Women's Day, and I think you are one of the most inspiring women that I know.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you. This is fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Rajshree right now is Los Angeles, right?
I am. I'm sitting in West Hollywood, outside enjoying the sunshine on this International Women's Day with helicopters going overhead. So I hope you hear me fine.
Yes, we hear you fine. And I know your journey of yoga started very early. How is it started?
You know what? When I started in yoga, it was back in 1989. No one had heard about yoga, actually. It was one of those things that people looked at as one like weird, super nerdy, geeky thing to do, you know? Can you imagine in 1989, you're telling people, oh, yoga is good for you, for your health, for your mind, for your body, for your connection. And they just looked at you, and their idea of yoga was this, yogi sleeping on a bed of nails or something like that. Very strange. And I myself, although I'm from India, I hadn't really been exposed to it. I accidentally, and maybe universally with a big plan, I don't know, thinking I'm going to a music concert. Ravi Shankar, he was a sitar player in India at the time. He's passed away. I thought I'm going to a music concert. And when I arrived, I found Sri Ravi Shankar, enlightened master from Bangalore, India. And that began my journey into yoga. And I don't just mean hatha yoga, like body postures. I just mean in my inner world, looking at myself from the inside out, not just from the outside in,
Also, you say something very important for me is yoga is not only hatha yoga, physical posture, asanas, but it's much more. It's a lifestyle that I met you personally, that you carry with you, with this presence and this knowledge, and also the discipline in the practice, in the sadhana. Tell me more about how is your schedule normally now, and whatever you want to share about your daily practice. Are you carrying all this here?
I think you make a very good point, that it's a lifestyle. We don't think about it, right? We brush our teeth, we have dental hygiene every day, and every morning we don't stand in front of the mirror and say, ooh, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm doing something new. You just do it naturally without thinking about it as part of life. Just like bathing and having clean clothes and grooming our hair and putting our makeup. It's just something we do to take care of ourselves. Well, similarly, yoga is something we do to take care of our inside as naturally and as effortlessly and as daily as these other things: eating, sleeping, grooming, hygiene, right? And what happened for me is after that encounter with Sri Ravi Shankar, I realized that I had been ignoring a very deep, the most valuable aspect of myself, my internal landscape, my mind, my emotions, my consciousness. And that started a journey, and that has become my daily practice. So what do I do every day? Mental hygiene. I brush my teeth, I bathe, I eat, and I sit for a little while with my eyes closed. And before I do that, before I go into the eyes closed, I move my body. I do some exercises. You see, it doesn't have to be a lot. You don't have to feel like, oh, power yoga and I need a hot, sweaty place where I must sweat. Those are all extras. What I'm suggesting is every day rolling out a yoga mat and at least for 10 to 15 minutes, just stretching your body internally and externally, doing, downward dog, a warrior pose, a child's pose, a spinal twist, just these 5 or 7 basic things if you do. And then when you're finished, you close your eyes, you're already taking care of yourself inside and outside. So for me, that's my daily routine. It takes a little longer than that. I don't just do yoga for 5 or 10 minutes, but I travel a lot. So there are days and weeks where I don't even have the space to do more, but I will still do those 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And that's enough for people, I want to inspire people to say, don't think this is going to take time away from you. Actually, it's going to buy you time. If you do something for 10 minutes that centers you, that grounds you, that strengthens your immunity, your body, you'll sleep better, you'll connect better with people. And today in the world, everybody knows that about yoga. We just somehow don't make it a priority.
Yes. Yes, amazing. And today's Women's Day. 8 March is a Women's Day, and world is moved actually by woman's power more than men power, I think. But
I think more men need to hear that from you.
Yeah. And also, but I think many women in the world still feel undertaken by men. But I think you have a message for them, like how they can feel the power they have, and they mentally think they are empowered by men.
Yeah. So I think that's a great point, and perhaps in your question is the answer. See, how we perceive is how we create our reality and the life around us. Everything in the end is a point of view. If you see the glass half empty, then it is empty. If you see it half full, then it's full. If you see it fully full, half with water and half with air, as Jeff Bezos says, with the leader of Amazon, then you act that way. It really helps for any woman, any man, any human being to up-level their thinking, their belief, their perception. And being a woman, we sometimes ourselves think, oh, if I was stronger like men. No. Our ability to connect, care, love, support, it's something innate. Of course, men have it also. But as women, as we bear children, as we connect with a life that comes into the world at our care, in our hands, there's an easier ability to share, to share from the heart. And if we really realize that in the end, love is the greatest power, the strongest tool that you have, and you rely on it, then you are who you are and you become more powerful. At least that's how I operate. I'm not afraid to be vulnerable. I'm not afraid to share what I feel, whether that's in a restaurant to really compliment someone who's there serving me, or as I'm walking in the street, or standing at a post office, or with my colleagues, just to say, oh my God, how beautiful are you? Or how sweet is that what you did? Or to be touched and to share is a power that women have. And I invite people to really connect to it and use it, and to see that that's our beauty, that's our grace, Can I just say one more thing? In Vedanta, the Vedic system of India, women and men are given an equal place, meaning without the yin, the yang does not exist. And without the yang, the yin does not exist. And what's very beautiful is the world that is in front of us, what we see, touch, and feel, is seen as the feminine principle, female energy, yin. and what is underneath the world that we cannot see, but is driving all the manifested things, what we can see, what we want to see, what we want to create, the results we want, is seen as yang, as male. So the world in front of us is all female. And if we can connect to that, we really can create the results we want, you know. And I talk a little bit about this in my book, The Power of Vital Force, which, by the way, is going to be released in Brazil. Yes, thank you. Sometime in June, and in Portuguese. And so I invite people to look into it, not just because, okay, I wrote the book, but empowering oneself to see that we're far more than our gender and our beliefs and our assumptions and identity. You know.
Great. Amazing. So all the women have to hear that. Also men have to hear that, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
So last question. What is the main limitation that people has to reach happiness? Like, what is the most obstacle they have towards happiness?
I think the biggest reason, well, so there's different levels of happiness, right?
Yeah.
There's the sensory happiness, you know. Oh, I feel like eating ice cream. I get the ice cream and I'm happy. It's the taste buds, right? It's a sensory, momentary happiness. There's a quality to that. And then there's a second degree of happiness, meaning I make the ice cream. That has more joy in it. Oh, wow, look, I learned how to make ice cream and I made it. Yes. And then the third level of happiness is I not only made ice cream, but I taught Alessandro and others to make ice cream. That brings this deeper, more lasting happiness. But even bigger than that is this notion of happiness that is who we are. We're born happy. Bundle of joy, that's a baby. We forget that our nature, underneath everything, is we are happiness itself. And so the obstacle is we forget to look inward. We hook our reason for being happy to things outside ourselves. And really all it takes is few moments a day to close your eyes and to say, I'm the source of it. I can make the change. It's at some level a decision. That doesn't mean you don't have ups and downs. I can certainly tell you in the last 2-3 years, I've gone through so many challenges, you know, where it requires resilience and stamina. But again, that didn't take away who I am. It's time, it's whatever is required to go through it. And so you want to be happy? I'm saying make the choice to be happy. Don't get caught up in the little things. And that will make all the difference.
Wow, so happiness is a choice that all we can make it. This is the last message you gave. I'm very happy to have you here. You opened this series of talk that we will have with yogis around the world, around Brazil also. And of course, we have your blessing. This business also is made 60% Yogateria, this shop online of yoga products is made 60% of the person that work are female. So we are following in a younger equal. So good.
You know what, Alessandro, I want to wish you, of course, the business, what you're doing, all the best. One of the biggest things about you is your naturalness, your ease, your willingness to say what you think, what you feel, and then to make a difference with what you're doing now, this podcast and this interview, and bringing products that inspire people to say, I want to look inward. And then what you just said, okay, 60% is women. For me, I know that that's a natural state for you, and your ease, your naturalness, I'm sure is going to make great success, and more than that, huge impact on a lot of lives. I wish you the best, absolutely the best.
Thank you.